You know, when we talk about the global AI race, it's so easy to just get lost in the headlines, right? Who has the biggest model, the fastest chip? But today we're going to go deeper. We're going to peel back the layers and look at the unique system China is building for AI dominance. It's this strategic flywheel that, honestly, most of the world isn't even seeing yet.
So that brings us to the big question. How is China building a different kind of AI superpower? Because this isn't about just copying what works in the West. No, they're playing a fundamentally different game, and we're about to break down exactly how they're doing it.
Okay, here's our game plan. First, we'll survey the global AI chessboard. Then we'll zoom right into China's strategic blueprint. After that, we get to the real heart of this thing, a powerful idea called the four-dimensional flywheel. We'll even see how real companies are putting it into practice. And finally, we'll look ahead to the next frontier, embodied AI.
All right, so to really get what China's doing, we've got to start with the global picture. Think of it like a giant chessboard. It's not just one single race to the finish line. The major world powers are all playing with different strategies, different pieces, and frankly, different rulebooks.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Look at how different these philosophies are. The US is laser-focused on breakthrough innovation. They're all about leading in algorithms and the big quest for AGI, mostly driven by the private sector. Then you've got Europe, which is playing the long game, really focused on regulation, safety, and ethics. And then there's China. Their strategy isn't about having the absolute best algorithm or the tightest regulations. It's built to win on speed and scale. They're leveraging their insane industrial capacity and huge market to just get AI into the real world faster than anybody else.
So let's zoom in on that China strategy. You have to understand, for China, AI isn't just another cool tech trend. It is a core pillar of their entire national blueprint for the future. It's absolutely central to their goals for becoming a technological superpower.
And this wasn't an accident. It's been this very deliberate multi-stage plan. Just look at this timeline. Between 2017 and 2020, it was all about laying the foundation, setting AI as a national goal. Then, from 2020 to 2023, the focus shifted to actually building the system, plugging AI into the real economy. And now they're in the final phase, what they call normative leadership. This is about governance and safety, sure, but it's really about writing the rulebook for their own self-sufficient and controllable AI ecosystem. It's a clear march from ambition to construction to control.
So how does this actually work on the ground? Well, this brings us to the core idea for today, a framework that really unlocks the logic behind China's AI success. It's something we can call the four-dimensional flywheel.
So, what is this CBDG model? At its heart, it shows that you just can't understand China's AI progress by looking at any one thing in isolation. You have to see how these four massive forces, consumer, business, device, and government, lock together to create this self-reinforcing cycle that just keeps spinning faster and faster.
Let's break it down really quick. C is for consumer. We're talking hundreds of millions of people providing a non-stop fire hose of data and a massive real-world lab for any new app. B is for business. There's this huge, urgent demand for AI to make industries more efficient. D is for device. China's manufacturing power means they can actually build the phones, the cars, the robots, the physical things that carry AI into our world. And then there's G for government, and this is so crucial. The government isn't just a referee, it's a coach, a strategist, and often the very first and biggest customer.
Now here's the magic. This is where it becomes a flywheel. The government, G, guides and funds business, B. That innovation from B then powers new apps for consumers, C, and smarter devices, D. All that usage from C and all that data from D creates this incredible feedback loop, which helps B optimize their products, and it even informs new G policy. See how it works? Each part pushes the next one, creating a closed loop where everything just works together to make the whole system accelerate.
So the real takeaway here is this. Winning in China's AI space isn't just about having the single best algorithm. It's about mastering this entire system. It's about your ability to build an ecosystem, do serious R&D, empower whole industries, actually make money, and constantly push into what's next. The competition isn't model versus model, it's system versus system.
Okay, that's the theory. It sounds good on a slide, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's check out how some of the titans of China's tech scene are putting this CBDG flywheel to work right now.
First up, iFlyTech. Their whole strategy is just a masterclass in leading with the G and B parts of the flywheel. They built their entire empire on serving the government and big business first. So they just dominate government contracts. And they do it with this really clever general plus specialized model. Imagine they have one giant, powerful AI brain. That's the general model. Then, for each client, they create smaller, super efficient, custom-built models. It's the best of both worlds. And once they've built that solid foundation with G&B, they use it as a launch pad to jump into devices and consumer products, like smart learning tools and office gadgets.
So if iFlyTech starts from the top with the government, ByteDance does the complete opposite. Their entire system is built on an unbelievable strength in C, the consumer side of the flywheel. I mean, they use that fire hose of data from apps like Douyin as pure fuel to constantly train and perfect their AI models. It's the ultimate feedback loop, and it's running at a global scale. And they're not just betting on one horse. They've thrown over 20 AI apps out there to see what sticks. All that success then fuels massive investment back into their B-side, their own internal AI infrastructure.
And finally, we've got Alibaba. Instead of charging straight ahead, they're pulling this clever flanking maneuver with their app, Quark. Their whole focus is on making something so useful, so sticky, that you just can't live without it.
They've basically turned Quark from a simple browser into an AI toolset for students and researchers. And get this, by packing it with tools people actually need, they've hit a 52% next-day user retention rate, which is just insane. The strategy is brilliant. Create a consumer app that's so indispensable it becomes this primary gateway, funneling millions of super engaged users right into Alibaba's bigger ecosystem of business services.
So, where does all this go from here? Well, the next giant leap for AI is something called embodiment, taking that intelligence out of the cloud and putting it into the physical world. And this right here is where China's whole system-level strategy could give it a massive advantage.
And the scale of this is just staggering. We're talking about a market in China for embodied intelligence, robots, self-driving cars, you name it, that's projected to hit 400 billion yuan. That's about 55 billion US dollars by 2030. This isn't some niche hobbyist market. This is the next major industrial revolution.
And this chart tells us exactly where that money is going. It's pretty much an even split between two gigantic fields: robotics, taking up 56% of the market, and autonomous driving at 44%. These are the two battlegrounds where digital code is going to learn to walk, drive, and work in the real world.
Which brings us to our final, and I think most important question. As AI makes that jump from digital code into physical reality, is a deeply integrated, systemic ecosystem like the CBDG model going to become the ultimate, unbeatable competitive advantage? It's something to think about.